At the start of the summer, I planned to knit several summer tops. Well, today is August 2nd, and I only started one of them, and then I frogged it. So that got me thinking, can I knit 2 summer tops in 2 weeks and reclaim my summer knitting plans? Hi, welcome to Musing Maker. I'm Harriet. This channel is where I come to talk about the various challenges that I set myself in the field of the fiber arts, and the challenge that I'm currently working on is to try to knit 2 tops in 2 weeks. Like many knitters and crocheters, I have a lot of yarn in stash, and some of it is summer weight cotton yarns, and so I decided I'd like to try to at least have a couple of summer tops that I might be able to wear for the remainder of this summer, and if not, they would be waiting for me for next spring. I set myself a couple of parameters for this challenge. First off, I'm going to try to only knit for like 3 or 4 hours a day at most. I don't want it to be something where I'm, sitting for some very long stretch of time trying to crank out a couple of sweaters. I want them to be sweaters that I enjoy the process of making and that I then enjoy the process of wearing. The day that I decided to undertake this challenge was Monday, July 27th. So 2 weeks from that date means I am going to try to have both of these sweaters done by Monday, August 10th. I decided to pick 2 knitted tops that were, on the one hand, sleeveless. I like a challenge, but I'm not crazy. And that also would work with the yarns that I already had in stash. Right? I did not want to acquire any new yarn to do this challenge, and really there's no reason why I should be acquiring new yarn at this point. So the tops I chose are the Pier 39 by Isabel Kraemer and the Mini Tee by Susanne Mueller. So today is day 6 of this challenge that I've set for myself, so I thought I would give you guys an update on where it stands. So I started by working on the Pier 39 top first of all, and one of the things that I have quickly realized is that although the pattern doesn't indicate that this top comes with an added neckline, it's very clear to me that unless I want the top of it to roll, I'm going to need to pick up stitches and put a neckline on it, right? You can see on the pictures of it that that is not the case. I'm not quite sure how they got that neckline to stay because stockinette stitch sort of by definition rolls. Long story short, I am going to need to add a neckline for it because I don't really want it. I think it would look, for me, it would look a little bit messy to have that rolled neckline in combination with those nice, neat, clean stripes. Like many knitters, I really like working on a striped top or sweater because it does get very potato chippy very quickly and sort of rolls along quite quickly. So as you can see, I've made a lot of progress on this, right? I finished the neckline, I did the short row shaping in the back, and I am now down past the armholes. So at this point, it is just straightforward stockinette stitch in the round. Around the middle of this week, on I think Thursday, I decided to also start on the Mini Tee, the pattern by Susanne Mueller, and this is one that is meant to have a little bit of negative ease, and that often makes me a little bit nervous in terms of fit, but the good news on this is that if for some reason I don't like the fit on it, I have a friend who's several sizes smaller than I am, and she likes the color blue, so although it, kind of undermines the idea of my challenge of giving myself 2 knitted tops, I can always gift one. So I'm not going to worry too much about that. I decided to do, the pattern recommends using the Norwegian cast on, and although I don't usually do that, I usually just like the long tail cast on, I decided in this case that yes, I would do the Norwegian cast on. This top also, in order to, again, in order to keep the stockinette stitch from rolling at the neckline, suggests that you basically kind of knit the collar down on to the first couple of rows of stockinette. I started doing this and then I just decided it was a little bit too fiddly and finicky because it's not like a case where you had a full inch of a neckline knitted really and you were folding it over, right? So you didn't have like an inch and a half of ribbing that you were then folding over and connecting to the neckline. Instead, given, kind of the clean lines of this top, what happens is that you have only about maybe an inch of the collar, and then once you fold that in half, you're basically trying to knit about a ½ inch of fabric down onto the other portion of the fabric. So I decided, long story short, it's just easier for me to seam it, and so I started doing a little bit of the seaming of it just to make sure that it was going to look the way I want it to, and it does. So I will be completing that at some point, maybe before I finish the whole sweater, maybe after. So the mini tee in terms of the construction is very much like the Pier 39. Both are sleeveless, both have short row shaping across the back neck, and both involve raglan shaping. And so where I'm at with the mini tee is I have finished the neckline and the short row shaping, and now I'm just working on doing the raglan increases. And that, is very simple and straightforward. It's just basically remembering to do those raglan increases when necessary. So that's where I stand with this particular challenge. My plan is to possibly post another update video later this week. If not, I will definitely be posting a video on August 10th so that you can see sort of where I am in terms of possibly completing the challenge. So if you haven't subscribed, please do so, turn on your notifications, and if you enjoy this content, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon.